I raised my son to respect people. I never imagined his wife would look me in the eye in my own kitchen and call me free babysitting. Not a grandmother, not family, free labor. I smiled. I said nothing, but I want to tell you exactly what happened after that. Because 6 months later, that same woman was standing on my porch, asking me for the one thing she swore she never needed. My name is Diane. I'm 61 years old, and 2 years ago, I retired after 30 years as a school administrator. I have one son, Mark, and 3 years ago, he married a woman named Lauren. I liked her. I really did. She was sharp, ambitious, worked long hours at a marketing firm downtown. And when they had my grandson, Eli, 18 months ago, I thought, finally, this is what retirement is for. So when Lauren went back to work after maternity leave, I didn't hesitate. I told them, I'm here, whatever you need. 2 days, a week turned into 3. I kept a drawer of his favorite toys at my house. I learned his snack schedule better than I knew my own. I rearranged doctor's appointments, canceled lunch dates with friends, all so Eli would have someone who loved him during the day instead of a stranger. I never asked for a dime. I never asked for a thank you, either, though it would have been nice. Because here's the thing about Lauren. Somewhere along the way, thank you stopped happening. Plans got canceled on me last minute. A text, 10 minutes before I was supposed to arrive. Change of plans. Can you take him till 6 instead of 3? No question mark, really. Just an instruction. I told myself, she's tired. She's stressed. This is what family does. I was wrong about what it was building toward. It was a Sunday dinner. Mark had made his father's old pot roast recipe, the one thing he actually knows how to cook. Lauren was setting the table, and I got up to help her fold napkins, and I made some offhand comment. I don't even remember exactly what, about maybe watching Eli an extra day the following week, since I had nothing going on. And Lauren let out this laugh. Not a mean laugh, exactly. Just tired, dismissive. And she said it. Diane, you're basically our free babysitter at this point. You should be grateful. We even let you be this involved. The table went quiet. I looked at my son. He looked down at his plate. I want you to understand something. I wasn't angry in that moment, not the way you'd expect. I was just stunned. 2 years of showing up, of rearranging my whole life around a baby that wasn't even mine to raise, reduced to one word. Grateful, like I was the one who should be thanking her. I finished dinner. I hugged Eli goodbye like I always did. I drove home in complete silence, and somewhere on that drive, that word just kept repeating in my head. Free babysitter. Here's what I didn't do. I didn't call Lauren and scream at her. I didn't post some passive-aggressive thing online for the whole family to see. I didn't even bring it up to Mark. Not really. What would that have accomplished? Instead, about a week later, I called my son and told him calmly, I'd be stepping back a little, that I loved being part of Eli's life, but that I needed to focus on some things for myself for a while. I finished out the commitments I'd already made that week. I didn't ghost them. I'm not that kind of person. But I stopped offering. I signed up for a watercolor class on Tuesday mornings, the exact slot I used to spend feeding Eli lunch. I booked a long weekend with my college roommate, something I hadn't done in 3 years. I started tending to a garden I'd let go completely wild since retirement. And for the first time in 2 years, my calendar belonged to me. I heard through Mark, in bits and pieces, how things were going. Lauren had put Eli in daycare, $1,400 a month, which about matched what she made in overtime that quarter. Work got harder. Mark started picking up extra shifts to cover the gap. I could hear it in his voice when we talked, something tight, something strained that hadn't been there before. Then, on a Thursday evening, I heard a knock at my door. It was Lauren, alone, eyes red, hair not done the way she usually kept it. Eli had a fever, spiked that afternoon. Daycare wouldn't take him back until he was cleared. Mark was stuck at a job site 2 hours away. Her own mother lived out of state. She had nowhere else to go, and she stood there on my porch and said the words I genuinely never thought I'd hear. "Deanne, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I need your help. I want to be honest with you." There was a small, human part of me that wanted to say, "Oh, now you need the free babysitter." But I didn't, because that's not who I am. And honestly, that's not the point of this story. I let her in. I made Eli some tea with honey, got him settled on the couch under his favorite blanket, the one I'd kept, even after I'd stepped back. And while he slept, Lauren and I talked. Really talked, for the first time in 3 years. She told me she'd been drowning, not just with Eli, but with the guilt of realizing what she'd said and what she'd lost by saying it. I told her I forgave her, and I meant it. But I also told her something else. I would help, because I love that little boy more than anything, but not for free anymore, and not without being asked with respect. We set up an actual schedule. A little bit of pay, not because I needed the money, but because it meant something different this time. It meant I mattered. I never stopped being her son's mother. I just stopped being her free babysitter. If you've ever been taken for granted by family and had to learn the hard way what your own worth actually was. I want to hear your story in the comments below. And if this one hit home for you, hit subscribe. I share stories just like this one every week.